Hey guys, so I just wanted to touch base on a few social issues, and with this one, I want to talk about fat shaming. So I've just watched a clip on YouTube through, oh, it was on Good Morning Britain, and it had a personal trainer there who was suggesting that we should fat shame, that that's okay to do that. My opinion is that we shouldn't be doing that. I think it's sort of dangerous for that person's mental health. You don't know what they're going through at that time. You don't know, anything little thing could push them over the edge or make them harm themselves or anything like that. We've just got to sort of protect people's mental health at the same time, especially as trainers. I mean, I agree that his base, he was basically saying that um, everyone, that there's a net caloric intake that everyone has, okay, which is true. And you're talking about BMR, RMR, those terms sort of interchangeable. So what he's saying is that you can't get away with using excuses like it's my genetics, metabolism, all this sort of stuff, thyroid. You probably heard these terms thrown around quite a bit in the fitness industry if you've been around it or in the gym. So yeah, basically, calories in, calories out works. You have one person or anyone will have their RMR, resting metabolic rate, or BMR, basal metabolic rate, and that is the rate of chemical reactions in your body, and so that burns calories. So even if you're sitting down doing nothing, even if you're sleeping, you're still burning calories. While you're sleeping, you'll burn calories quite slowly because your heart rate isn't accelerating very fast at all. The rate of chemical reactions are slowed down quite a lot as opposed to when you exercise. So the more you exercise, your metabolism goes up, if that makes sense. So this guy, he's basically saying that you can't get away with that. You can't start using these excuses, and that we need to call people fat and sort of shame them into exercising, which I just touched on. I think that's wrong, and we need to protect these people as best we can. So I agree that if people are getting sort of overweight, or sort of use that term overweight, I don't really like the term fat. Um, so people are getting overweight from not exercising, and they are just eating a lot of basic shit food, junk food, McDonald's or whatever, fish and chips all the time, and then they're complaining or whatever, they can't lose weight, or I mean, there's a polite way of going about it. Just calling people fat, that's not a good way to go about it. I don't feel. So like I said, you don't know what they're going through, so we should try and protect these people. And I'm not a really super social justice warrior or anything like that. Like, I have conservative views on things, I have liberal views on things. This is one of my liberal views, is that we shouldn't fat shame people. So I'm very, very fortunate. My whole life I've been reasonably thin. I mean, over Christmas I put on probably a couple of kilos. Um, but I mean, I'm lucky. I can actually, in my earlier days, I used to eat rubbish, like absolute rubbish food, and I could still just stay thin, stay thin. So my BMR, my basal metabolic rate, was most probably set. I mean, quite high. Like, I haven't had it checked out scientifically or anything like this. There's a technique you can use which is quite expensive. It's quite hard. It's called the doubly labeled water technique, and you can get it checked out professionally and properly. But anyway, so I could just eat and eat and eat, and I mean, I was pretty physically active and things like that. But I could just get away with eating and just walking around, and my metabolism was naturally quite high. But for other people, it might not be that high. So, I mean, say if my metabolism was set at 2,000 calories, my BMR was set at 2,000 calories per day. Okay, that's without exercise or physical activity in the day. Okay, so already, I know that I can consume up to 2,000 calories without doing any work, any physical activity, and I'll be at a balanced energy expenditure. So I'll be at equilibrium. Okay, so I'm not going to gain weight, I'm not going to lose weight. That's fine. That's good. Okay, someone else, they might theirs might be set at 1500. Okay, and another person's, they might be set at 1200, which means that, if they go over 1200, they're going to start putting on weight. And they need to eat quite a bit less than that to lose weight. So imagine, like trying to just stay under 1200 calories all day. I mean, you're obviously going to have to increase your exercise and things like that. But that's a lot harder. So I think you need to actually, I'm going to use this term, you need to actually check your privilege, because I'm privileged to be able to have a reasonably fast metabolism. And yes, I do regularly exercise and things like that, and I really, really enjoy it, being a trainer myself. But I mean, I am privileged, and I think, people need to, it's easy for this guy. He's like, we don't know what his BMR was. His might be naturally set quite high, just like mine. So, maybe he hasn't looked into that. I'm not sure. But I think we just need to be aware of this sort of issue. It's just easy to go like, oh, you're fat, just stop eating KFC. Just, start exercising more, but it's not really that black and white. And this sort of issue really sort of gets to me sometimes. So I just wanted to spread a bit of awareness on my thoughts with that. So I'll put the clip up, and you guys have a watch or whatever. And it's sort of just about critical thinking about things. It's just so easy to point the finger and and blame, but once you take a 360-degree view of of things, and really add a bit of empathy in there, and mix with a bit of science and things like that, you can come up with some different answers. And but by all means, I'm not condoning sort of just inactivity and eating rubbish food. Okay, like if you are doing that, then you shouldn't be doing that. That probably is, let's be honest, the main cause of obesity, without getting into the nitty-gritty stuff about sensitivity to westernized diets and things like that. But it's not the black and white of it. Yeah, okay. So if you have any questions, let me know. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube on the link below, wherever it is. Make sure you give me a follow on Insta if you do like these videos. So I'm going to be throwing up a few more social issues and things like that to do with sports. I'll be throwing up more stuff on, I'll be throwing stuff up on sport doping and all this sort of stuff as well. So give me a follow on Insta. It's under sport_performance coach if you like this video and you want to see more content like this.